Okay, one more time. Here we go. Hi, I'm Grateful, Sensei of Grateful Dojo. Let's talk about emotions versus states. And if you haven't watched the NLP communication model, I'd advise you watching it so you'll understand what I'm talking about. Here's Bob once again. Bob receives information from the outside world or external events. They come into his brain. They're deleted, distorted, and generalized. Those create his internal representation. When you take and blend his internal representation with his physiology, you get his state. Now, for this example, let's say that Bob has no filters. He's right now, for this example, he just is in a state. He just ate some food, he likes it, and so that's the state he's in. Now, the thing about the human mind is to protect us, it has to ask questions and create perceptions about things. Depending on our perception of something, we are going to create an emotion. An emotion is the reaction we get from a perception of our state. Now here's where it's important. When you close the loop of state to perception to emotion, the emotion now is going to go back to your state. And remember the state that Bob was in of, oh, this is good food. Well, let's just change one thing. Bob ate the food. Okay, he kind of liked it because his perception of it is something he didn't like. He's going to now, because, wait, I might not like it. He did like it, but now maybe he doesn't. He now is going to create a different emotion. Not that, yum, it's going to be, oh, what's this? Do you think that the state is going to have the same state from, oh, good, to, oh, what's this? No, it's going to change. And so now your state is going to change to, oh, what's this food? It's going to now, your perception's going to go, oh, wait, this food. And now you're going to link to another filter, which is going to change your emotion, and you start this downward cycle. What if you eat that food and, oh, this is pretty good, but all of a sudden your perception is linked to a memory of, oh, wait, I remember when I was a child and I love this stuff. That's going to bring out a great emotion, which is going to send a great emotion up to this state, which is going to charge that flavor up, and it's going to, oh, I want some more of this. And you now create this cycle. What I found fascinating was when I looked into depression, and I realized that depression is not an emotion. Depression is a state. Depression is the internal representation, or how you think about things, along with your physiology. Are you always slumped over? Are you not getting enough sleep? Are you eating bad foods? Are you just taking terrible care of yourself? Are you in pain? That's going to affect that. If you have the bad internal representation, that's going to really create a bad state. Now put that bad state into everything bad is happening to me. That's my perception of the world. It's going to create terrible emotions. When boom, you start this terrible cycle. That is the cycle of people going downwards in depression. If you can get them to change one thing, and there's an exercise that I show people to change one thing, just sit up straight. It's actually the exercise that Tony Robbins taught me, is start jumping up and down, put a big smile on your face, throw your arms in the air and say, yes, yes, yes. You're changing your vocabulary, you have a smile, you're changing your physiology, you're breathing by jumping up and down, the word yes is positive. All of those things are changing everything in your physiology, and your internal representation is going to change your state. If you have a mindset that okay, I'm going to make this work, it's going to make a positive emotion, there's that cycle that creates this. This is very powerful when I learned and saw this, because the thing about that is, perception is when we are learning and bringing things in. We are looking to help protect us, but we're doing it from a place of learning and looking around, not just total tense and only protecting. You can grow. If you come from a place of assumption, a lot of people think they know what you're talking about, and they assume they know. If you've got your mind locked into assuming, and you know that you're depressed, and you know this process is not going to work, of jumping up and down and there's scientific proof behind it, of course it's not going to work because you're assuming you know what it is. It's going to create a memory of someone else is trying this stuff. I'm not going to do it. That's going to go to your state and it's going to spiral down. Emotions versus state. It's very important to know it. You can change all of these different components. You can change the emotion because you can change from presumption to assumption. Or assumption that you know everything to presumption that I want to learn and be open to things. You can change things about your physiology. That'll change your state. You can change things about in your mind. That'll change your state. All of these things go into play in not only how we communicate with others, but how do we communicate with ourselves, which ultimately leads to depression. And like me, I wanted to commit suicide. Why? Because I wasn't taking care of myself. I thought negatively of myself, and I kept thinking negative, and it just started that negative cycle. The NLP communication model, when you start to see these things and how we can take control of our lives, it's so powerful. It's one of the things and reasons I wanted to share this in the Grateful Dojo. I hope you get as much out of this as I get out of myself. I am grateful.